Hi, welcome back. Today we will talk about MITRE. MITRE is known for common vulnerabilities and exposure list. It is the resources when you can check and search for exploit for a given vulnerability. And you can read more if you would love. This is the projects that we will do, and click complete. Task 2. So APT is Advanced Persistent Threat. Can be a team, which is a group, threat group, or even a country, nation, state group. So ATT, it's acronym for Tactics, Techniques, and Procedures. Tactic is the goal or objective of the hacker, and the techniques is, for example, can be phishing. Procedure is step-by-step instruction how to execute the attack. And when you finish, you can press complete. Task 3, ATT and CK framework. So you can go to the website provided over here, and you can explore more about each one of the layers that we talk about it. And now it was created using internal project known as the Fort Media experiment, and due to collecting the data from the attack on this network was created such a big database of all of their available attacks and mitigation, etc. So you can go, you have here initial access, phishing example, they have sub techniques that connected to the main one, and you can go and do on the search bar find phishing like this, and click on it, and you can find procedure examples, mitigation, detection, etc. So to find navigation layer, to view it, you can click here, and to see each one of them, you can color code it as well. There is videos about how to use this program if you would love to know more. I'm not gonna go deep into that. And we need to remember that it's also useful for red teamers. I don't remember if I said it already, but okay. So beside the blue team, who else will use the attack? And as we said, it's red teamers. What is the idea for this technique? I assume it was called about phishing because all the examples about phishing, and we got about initial access over here, so we need to look at this attack. So you go to the website, initial access, phishing, and you can see the ID showing up already over here. We can open over here and see that it's actually, yes, it's our ID. So you can just copy and paste. So based on this technique, what mitigation covers identify social engineering techniques? So we need to find mitigation. Identify by social engineering techniques. So you can just copy this one, for example, go and just place to search, and here we have mitigation, and here we had social engineering techniques, and you have user training. So that's what we need to know, and we just passed it. So what data sources for detection, and we have source 1, source 2, and source 3. So data sources, let's have a look. Mitigation, data source. In detection, we have data sources. So we need just 3, and we have as well 3, okay, because sometimes they have more than we needed. Application log, file, and network traffic. Application log, file, and network. Which are the first two groups to have used spear phishing? Spear phishing is when you have a target specific, because sometimes phishing just general. so in their campaigns. So we need only two groups, first two groups. So what are the first two groups in the superficial techniques? So here we have the groups that I used, procedure example. So it's Axiom has used, and this is our group, and has conducted, it's also the group. Based on the information for the first group, what are the associated groups? So the first one was Axiom. We go to our, to close this tables. Go to our Axiom. We need associated group. So this is group 72, associated. What software is associated with the group? Note that lists phishing as technique. So we need software, lists. So we go to the software and we need to look for phishing. Software, what is this? Phishing. We need software, it's over here. So our answer is HackIt. What is the description for this software? So we just go on a page of the software, and here it's small description, so it's our answer. I don't know, is it with a dot or without dot? The dot is automatic, okay. This group overlaps slightly with which other group? So we go again to the group, which is Axiom. Overlap slightly, so it says overlap between Axiom and Unity group. So this is our answer. How many techniques are attributed to this group? So we go to techniques and we just need to count them. So I counted them already, but if you want to go one by one, it's basically 15 of them. Task 4, Cyber Analytics Repository. So it also was developed by MITRE. It's a knowledge base of analytics developed, and basically it's a knowledge repository for attacks. And we can have a look over here. It's techniques, sub-techniques, tactics, and level of coverage and implementation. You can have a look. So now let's go to full analytic list. And we have example in Attack Navigator. As you see, it's also color-coded and highlighted to know that this is specifically for the CR, our technique, and nothing else. So everything else is not connected to CR, but it's just how it is. So now we go over here, and let's you can have read over here about everything, and let's open full list, analytic list. Okay, so now let's go to the questions. What tactic has ID? So because it's all MITRE, it doesn't matter where you search basically, unless it's specific something. So we can just have a look over here. And we see it's persistence, the first with the ID. So we just copy and paste it. Submit. What is the name of the library that is collection of Zeek script? So about Zeek, you can have a hint over here, and it says check on the main page. By the main page, it means the full analytics list, and we can, okay, let's try over here, main page. Okay, and here we have library bizarre, and it's only a library, and that's basically what we need. Bizarre. What is the name of technique for an executable with the same hash and different names? Same hash, different names. So we go again to the full analytics, and we put same hash, and we have running executable with the same hash and different names. This is our answer. Oh, okay. So examine, beside implementation, what additional information is provided to analysts to ensure coverage of this technique. So let's have a look. Okay, that's not that one. Okay, just close it so I wouldn't. Let's have a search. Here we have our technique. Beside implementation, we have over here unit tests. So this implementation, this unit test. Okay. Task 5, MITRE Engage. So MITRE Engage is a framework for planning and discussing adversary engagement operations. So you can go to Start Kit and see all of the options that they have over here. So different one. For this they have handbook where they wrote everything that contains on their website, and you can read about that. If it's not enough, you should probably contact them. I don't know how it shouldn't be enough, but okay. So let's go to this. It says the engagement matrix. So if you go on the startup kit, all tools, you can put just matrix. Here we go. So let's close other. So now we have the same basically model. You can see plan, operate, understand, and they divide it. So we go to prepare. Let's go to prepare and have a look. So this is when you click plan, you need to scroll down, otherwise it wouldn't show. And you can see ID here and description. If you want more, you can put full description and see better. This is the image that was used in TryHackMe as well. So you go under prepare. What is ID of this one? So this on the guidance was already showing us some kind of, how to say, hints, if you notice. So let's go and find it by ourselves. So the plan has 1, cyber threats has 4, engagement 12, gating 5, and if you scroll, this is 2. So this is our answer. Yes. What is the name of the resource to aid you with engagement activity from the previous question? Resource to aid for engagement from the previous question. That's a bit weird. Okay, I think I know what they're talking about. So if you go to the all tools, here's like a different resources and tools. So if you go down, you can find, like, for example, based on our response here, it's persona profile worksheet. Let's copy this name. Okay, it's work. So which engagement activity baits a specific response from the adversary? So specific response, you can take it, and it's which engagement activity. So you go to the matrix. Where is this matrix? And it's really hard to find, to be honest, because you need to go through each one of them and read what they mean over here. But if you go and like on this tab, you can finally find that here say all bytes specific response from adversaries. So this is our answer basically. What is the definition of threat model? So threat model was described over there under the preparer. So here we have threat model and here we have definition. You can put full definition, but I assume we just need short one. So you can copy and paste. Task 6, MITRE ATT&CK. So this is the resource for knowledge graph of cybersecurity countermeasures, and that's basically what it stands for. And we can open and have a look. So if you click, for example, for disk encryption, you can see the definition, digital artifact relationship, and related techniques. So this is basically in beta version. It's not completely finished. That's why here we have only short questions. So what is the first technique listed under this drop down? So let's look. This is our drop down, and the first technique is data obfuscation. So we just copy and paste it. So we need to look for infrared relationships. And what does this technique from the previous question? So this is from the previous. So let's have a look maybe down here. And here we have infrared relationships. From here, data obfuscation is become outbound internet network traffic. So this is basically our answer. You can just open another link and copy and paste, or just put it by the keyboard. Let's see, it works. Task 7, emulation plans. So STID, it's a Center of Threats Informed Defense, and this organization consists of various companies, and you can have a look who is there. And what is emulation plan? Emulation plan is basically free resource to find step-by-step guide on how to mimic the specific threat group. So how would we fare if APT29 hit us? And this is the answer in emulation plan. So let's have a look at this library. That's not what I wanted to look for. Hold on, over here. So yes, this is emulation library, and you can see full emulation plans for this type of group. And phase 1 for APT emulation. But what is listed first? Let's have a look at this one. So phase 1, it's C2 setup, software packaging, obfuscate files, initial access. Next one is basically executing, privilege escalation, and the third one is basically getting out, collecting data, compress station, things like this. So the first one was listed C2 setup. So that's gonna be our answer. Sorry for the background noises. Under persistence, what binary was replaced with SMDEX? So under persistence, we need to have a look at the whole plan. And here is our emulation plan. So many noises, sorry. So binary, we put binary, and what else was there? Replaced with, so we're looking for this one, executed. So binary, and here executed with this one. So this was replaced, and this is our answer. I don't know, should we take executed or no? Yeah, we should put. Okay, what? So examine APT29. What is the two framework are listed in scenario 1 infrastructure? Let's open. Scenario 1 infrastructure. So emulation plane, scenario 1 infrastructure. This one. Okay. Tool 1 and tool 2 we need C2 frameworks. So this is PAPI and Metasploit framework. So let's copy. So the framework, let's go to this scenario 2 infrastructure, and when you have a look at the framework, it's over here. Our answer. Examine the emulation plan for sandworms. What web shell is used in scenario 1? You need software ID for the web shell, and that's all. So we go to the sandworms, we go to emulation plan, scenario 1, and we press web shell. And you can see deployed, PHP web shell, and here's upload. And that's exactly what we need. So this is our name of the web shell. So we just paste it like this. And now we need ID. So for the ID, we go to the MITRE, I think it was here, right? MITRE, and we go paste web shell. This is our ID. Okay. Okay, PAS, and this is our ID. So, task 8, threat intelligence. So, let's look at a scenario. You are a security analyst who work in the aviation sector, and your organization is moving their infrastructure to the cloud. Your goal is to use the metrics to gather the threat intelligence. So you will do the research. Who might target this particular sector? So what the adversary will be interested in, or group of adversaries. And technique targeted on your concern. So let's have a look. What is the group that target your sector who has been in operation since at least 2013? So let's go over here and put STI groups, and we need to find aviation, because we're in aviation sector. So this is APT32. Let's open it. Okay, I think this is our answer. So you just copy and paste. As your organization is mitigated to the cloud, is there anything attributed that group you should focus on? So we go to the cloud and we see this is basically the technique used, and in the cloud it says cloud accounts. So we go and raise cloud accounts. What tools is associated with technique from previous question? So it says over here in tandem with ruler, and if you click on ruler it says it's a tool. So that's our answer. Referring to the technique from the question 2, what mitigation methods would you suggest using SMS messages as alternative to implementation? So we search. This second question was, so SMS. And here we have multi-factor authentication. Suggest as alternative to SMS because it's it's not safe to always use your phone. Multi-factor. So, what platform does the technique from question to affect? So what platform? So this is the platforms, and we just copy them and paste. Now let's go to conclusion. In this room we have resources provided by security community, and what is the purple team? It's basically the blue and red team working together. That's create a purple team. And that's the end of our room.